Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Charles in Charge Cowboy Sports Report. Going live tonight, Friday night, September 22nd, about 8 p.m. Central Time, my time. I see Jim Laws and Raymond Solis. What's up, guys? See, I already put in some chats in the chat. um, if you're watching this after it uploaded, that means it was a success. When your channel's still small, still building, having successful live shows every time, it's kind of tough. Doesn't always work out that way. um, if you're watching this, guys, and you have not subscribed yet, I implore you, please hit that red subscribe button. It is free. Costs you nothing. First goal is to get to 500 and then to 1,000 subscribers. When I do, this channel will grow exponentially. And I'll be able to put back into the channel with a microphone, studio equipment, sound bites, a desktop just for this with film and graphics so I can break down things and show them to you visually. And I will have a call-in line also. That is key for live shows, have a call-in line. I'm seeing smaller content creators that can edit, have just their Cash App name on the bottom of their screen. And so, since it's just me and my Galaxy right now, it's just written down. Let me try to adjust this a little bit better. Yeah. So, top 3 donators for this season after week 18 at Washington. Top 3 donators will get first place playoff tickets, maximum 3 persons, 50-yard line, medium deck. It's a pretty damn good prize. Second place, 2 jerseys of your choice, custom, away, home, alternate, color rush, whatever. Third place, an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card, possibly autographed by them. If donations are better than expected throughout the season, the prizes 2 and 3 will be better. The title for this live show is Even with 7 down, Trayvon Diggs, all-pro corner, going into his 4th season, really coming into his own now, not just being a ball hog, but becoming a shutdown. Losing him is losing a big piece on the board. But that's why this team has such depth. That's why we retained Jordan Lewis. He's on the last year of his contract. He got knocked out last October with a Liz Frank injury. He's back 100%. Deron Bland, 5th-round pick rookie last season. When Lewis went down, was thrown into the fire as our starting slot corner. He balled out 5 picks. He's a ball hog just like Diggs. He took advantage of that opportunity. Now he's got another opportunity given to him to be cornerback number 2, opposite Gilmore. I guarantee you, by mid-season or towards the end of the season, the whole NFL will know Deron Bland by name. He will make a name for himself. I personally think that Diggs and Gilmore were the best cornerback tandem in the league. Now Diggs is out for the season. I believe Bland by mid-season, late in the season. Gilmore and Bland, I believe, will be like a top 5, top 7 cornerback tandem in the league. I think Bland is that good. I think he is a gem. We stole in the 5th round. Stole him. I mean, he is first-round talent, and he will not let this opportunity go by the wayside. I can guarantee you that. Championship teams have depth. Championship teams overcome adversity, just like this. A lot of guys, people don't remember, back in 95, our last Super Bowl season. There's a lot of parallels from 95 in this season. In 95, we signed Prime, right? Bring him over. To basically win the Super Bowl, shore up the secondary. This offseason, we bring over Stephon Gilmore. Now he's 33 years old. He's not his prime anymore, and he certainly doesn't hold a candle to prime in his prime. But there's a parallel there, if you know what I mean. In week 1 of the 95 season, We had an all pro cornerback, Kevin Smith, goes down with a torn ACL. Big blow to the secondary. Big blow. But our defense didn't miss a beat. And our defense was great all season. And primetime wasn't even ready till week 8 that year. But we were so deep on the defensive line, we could get pressure off, instantly, just like we can now. And we had depth in the secondary. So when Kevin Smith went down week 1, guys like Larry Brown and company were able to step in and play corner, play man just as good. And for the first 8 weeks, when primetime wasn't ready, we were still holding it down. 1 second. We'll wait a few minutes, let some people jump in, and then we'll get this show started. Talk about the injury, what we can do from here on out, and the game against the Cardinals. What we need to do, and what we should do. 1 second. In the process of moving, house is in clutter right now. October 1st, we move into a new house. Very excited about that. Very excited. And October 1st, we play the Patriots. So if we're moving on that day, I'm going to take a 3-hour break. Go to the nearest Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever kind of place we'll have the game on. I can tell you that right now. Going on 7.5 minutes. Sometimes it'll take about 10-15 minutes for people to start coming in. I got some fire to talk about, some real fire. just need some people to come on in. Gym laws. Gym laws sound so familiar. And if this live show doesn't work out, then I'm just gonna have to shut it down and just do a regular video. Like I said, not every live video you do when your channel's not that big is successful. Sometimes you'll get a crowd, sometimes you won't. Especially if you don't do live shows on a regular, which I do not yet. Can't wait till I get to that point where I got my Cowboys reclining chair and my studio equipment, my desktop, my microphone coming down, and then my calling line, all that. Man, this channel, guys, y'all have no idea how big I can make this channel. I just need help from Cowboy Nation to get me to 1,000 subscribers. I know YouTube changed it to 500. I want to hit 1,000. I'm at around 350 right now. I would love to hit 1,000 during the season. And then when I do that, this show will take off. I guarantee you. My live shows, you will look forward to these live shows, just like Law Nation. I love his live shows. I look forward to it. I look forward to calling in. I will bring you that same type of hype and content on this show that The first game I ever watched was Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo in the Georgia Dome. I was 6 years old, and it was the first time I saw the Cowboys, and I fell in love. Don't even know why. I just did. We were losing 13-6 at halftime. I said one of my first prayers that night, I remember, and we come back and win 30-13. And I thought because of my prayer alone is why we won. So I make a joke that the Cowboys led me to Christ. And ever since then, the following season, 1994, every play of every game just about I have seen. I've probably missed a handful of games since 1994. And I mean, as much as you can count on one hand. Whenever I was 16 and I was out of school working nights, we're working 7 nights a week, 12-hour shifts, work Saturday night, get off, go to the crib, get some sleep. If we played at noon, I get up at 11 or 11:30, depending on if we were blacked out by the Texans, because I live in Houston now. Been in Houston since I was 16. if we were not blacked out, then I'd just get up half hour for the game, 11:30 or 2:45. But if we were blacked out, then I had to walk a quarter mile down the street to Hooters, so I had to get up an hour before the game, go watch the game, and then come back and get the rest of my sleep. That was the 2003 season. That season was, sentimentally, that was one of my favorite seasons because I was going through a big change in my life. I was enjoying it. Out of school, working for a living, had a roommate, and we had Bill Parcells for that his first year coaching. It was a playoff season after going 5-11 3 straight years, and that was just a fun year. I remember just about every game of that season in detail. I've got a Rolodex in my head that would trip some people out. It is Friday night, so people are probably out doing their thing. All right, one person has jumped in at the 13-minute mark right now. If I get 5 or 6 people in here, I can start spitting some fire, and we can hit on some real detail on the Diggs injury, what we can do about that, and what we need to do Sunday, and what we like to see on Sunday. The person who just jumped in, welcome. Is it Jim Laws, Raymond Solis? I was supposed to start the show at 7, and it got knocked back to 8. So on the East Coast, I know it's like 9 something already. The person watching now, do you think the Diggs injury is going to impact the defense big time, or do you think that with Dan Quinn and the depth we have in the secondary, that we're going to be just fine? Still the number one defense, and still possibly be historically good. Because I predicted this year's defense would be historically good, like the L.O.B in 2013, the no-fly zone in 2015, the Tampa 2 in 2002. I think this year's defense can be that good. What's your thoughts on that? If the chat is working, the chat should be working. Live chat. Yeah. All right. Yeah. You should be able to put whatever you want in the live chat. My solo audience, my one person checking me out. Man, if only people knew. Goodness. Having a small show is still growing. I don't do live shows a lot, so sometimes they're really good. Sometimes don't really get much of an audience. But if I get 5, 6 people in here, whoever's watching, then the show can get pretty good. Especially if I can get 10 or more people. Can't wait till I start getting in the hundreds like the big dogs, but you gotta pay your dues and take your time. Is what it is. So give me your thoughts on the Diggs injury. Person that is tuning in right now. Okay. Two people in here now. 15 minutes. I'm glad I didn't shut it down yet. Two people in here now. Somebody give me your thoughts on the Diggs injury. What you think is going to do to this defense? And I'll give you my thoughts. If we can get at least five people in here, we can get this thing running. Because I got some fire to spit. Some real fire. Diggs is gone for the whole season. We know that. He's not coming back, not even in the playoffs, not even in February if it's a Super Bowl. Okay, Dano. Guy I actually wanted to talk to. You mentioned slot corner being, important. That's why we didn't cut ties with Jordan Lewis in the offseason. A lot of people were saying save $2 million, cut him in the all. We kept Jordan Lewis just for this. Now in a trade, I we have depth. I don't see us doing a trade unless we drop another defensive back. If that happens, then yeah. I think Jordan Lewis is going to go back to slot. He's a veteran slot corner since 2017. He is proven he's very good. He's not great. He's not elite. He's very solid at cornerback number 3. He's coming into the season as corner number 4. I was saying we have a deep cornerback room. So he goes into the slot. DeRon Bland last season got an opportunity when Lewis went down. So they put him in the slot. 5th round gem. Balled out. 5 picks, right? This season looks like he is progressing, not having a sophomore slump. Now he has a second opportunity to go from corner 3 to corner 2, playing opposite Gilmore. I think DeRon Bland, like I was saying earlier, by mid-season, towards the end of the season, people are going to know his name. Asking Gilmore, who has an injury history, is an issue. Yeah, he's got an injury history. It doesn't mean that he's going to be injured this season. He could have a clean season this year. And with our front 7, our D line, how aggressive it is, I think Gilmore will hold up just fine. He's 33. I know he's had, some injuries. Last season he was relatively healthy all year for the Colts. He's still good enough to be number 1 corner. A lot of people thought he was better than Diggs coming into the season. But Diggs showed that in his 4th year, he took that next step, not just being a ball hog, but being a shutdown. In my opinion, Diggs and Gilmore was the best duo in football. Better than Slade Bradbury, better than Howard Ramsey. I think DeRon Bland and Gilmore, I think, can be a top 7 duo. Y'all watch out, guys. This DeRon Bland kid is not going to let this opportunity slip through his fingers. It's his chance to step up and be corner number 2, to take on the team's number 1 and number 2 receiver every game. And he is physical. His hands are just as good as Diggs. What's up, Chris Gons, man? Thank you for joining in. Tough loss for Diggs, but DeRon Bland, Jordan Lewis, Izzy, Eric Scott are hungry. Gilmore will lead. Dan Quinn, I trust. Don't forget Josh Butler. I have no idea who the hell Josh Butler is. But I know in that trade with Miami, we got Noah, but he's just for depth. Eric Scott, this is kind of like a redshirt season for him, even though he's on the 53. But I'm telling you, and playing Arizona this weekend is the perfect game for DeRon Bland to get his first start on the outside. Perfect game to get his feet wet. He is very physical. He is very handsy. A lot of the talking heads, we're saying, we led the NFL in takeaways the last 2 seasons, right? They're saying Trayvon Diggs, big part of that. In 2021, hell yeah, he had 11 picks. Last season, he only had 3 last season. DeRon Bland had 5. He led the team in interceptions, Didn't even play the whole season. DeRon Bland has as good as hands as Diggs does. Very physical, and in his second year, it seems like he's gotten better than his rookie year, progressing. I think DeRon Bland is better in year 2 than Diggs was in year 2 at their respective points. Diggs was getting picks in his second year, but he's also getting toasted a lot. Lit up 1,000 yards, in receiving. I don't think Gilmore got hurt last season. The year before, I think he had an injury-plagued season. That's what got him to Indy. But last year, I think if you're able to look it up, look it up. But last year, I think he played all year. He only had 2 picks, one against us and a game winner against somebody else. But at the age of 33, he's not the defensive player of the year that he was in 2018. But he's still very, very good. Still very good. And he's got a lot up here that compensates for what he's lost in speed and other stuff like that. Well, he could have had a hand injury last year. He could have missed a handful of games. But not like significant time. Not injury plagued like Darren Waller or DeAndre Swift. He's never been injury plagued like that. Chris, Charles, you think we should go after Anthony Brown? No, man. Third down, Brown. On third down, just throw it to Brown. Hell no, man. Anthony Brown, God, he stayed way too long. Last season, he was better than anybody else that we had opposite Diggs. The reason why, yeah, Anthony Brown is done, he was on 2 rosters in the offseason, I think, and was cut pretty damn quick. He was on San Fran's roster, I think, in 2 days he was gone. The reason why last season, when Brown went down, the other side of Diggs was so bad is because we had Kelvin Joseph. That was supposedly his time to shine. Him and Deshaun Wright were trying to fill that role. They were so freaking horrible that we had to go out and get, who the hell was that? Xavier Rhodes. And then Trayvon Mullins. Getting guys off the street. This season, we have depth to absorb that impact. Now, Blaine will not be as good as Diggs this season, but he'll be able to hold his own. And I think when we play teams like Philly, that he'll be able to take on the Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown one-on-one. Because they play in the slot also. And he was able to hold his own against them. And when we play San Fran with Debo and Ayuk, he can cover, anybody. He can play man coverage. And that's what we do 50% of the time. Chris Gons, I don't know why the media thinks we should get Anthony Brown. Yeah, the media mentioned it, but I don't think anybody was serious about us getting Brown. Man, yesterday it was like a dagger to the heart yesterday because we were getting healthy. I mean, Brandon Cooks was starting to practice. Donovan Wilson starting to practice. Tyler Smith starting to practice. Everybody that had been out was looking like they were going to play on Sunday. And then out of nowhere, just nowhere, I'm looking at Chat Sports with Tom Downey, and I'm starting to catch on to what he's saying. And then Diggs torn ACL. And then he's saying he's going for MRI. Oh, the MRI's out. It's a torn ACL. And then he just goes on, drops the F-bomb. And I was like, oh, my God, really? But check this out, guys. Dano, I think you're the one that told me that back in the 90s you had hair on your chest whenever we won those 3 Super Bowls, right? So I'm 37, so you're older than I am, right, Dano? Because I was 6 years old, Super Bowl 28, when we played Buffalo in the Georgia Dome. So I was in third grade the last time we took home the gold. Dano, I would love to get another proven wide receiver. Not going to happen. Okay, that must have been somebody else. Uh, well, Cooks, Gallup hasn't gotten involved yet. The offense is in a new system, and basically the Giants game was the first game that they played against another team in that offense. So the Giants game was like practice for the offense in a monsoon, and then against the Jets, similar type deal, kind of like practice. Gallup will get more involved and more involved. We and Tolbert looked pretty good against that Jets defense too. I if we were going to bring somebody in, I want offensive line depth. I mean, good gosh, Tyler Smith hasn't played yet. Hopefully, he plays this Sunday. Beadash is questionable with a hamstring. Zach Wilson's questionable with an ankle. We need good veteran depth. Jason Peters is on the Seahawks practice squad. We can poach him. Go get him. He can play left tackle and left guard. I mean, he could, good backup, better than who we have now. Chumadoga's okay, but Peters, even at 41, is better. I don't see Gallup ever being the same. I don't know, man. Towards the end of last season, it looked like he started getting it on with them slant patterns and whatnot. He's only had 2 catches, yes. Let's give it some time, man. It's a new West Coast offense. I mean, completely different from what Kellen Moore was running. You don't trust Cooks? I know I sound like a downer, but just giving my opinion. What don't you trust about him? That he can stay healthy? Because if Brandon Cooks gets 1,000 yards with us, he'll be the first receiver in NFL history to get 1,000 yards with 5 different teams. And that'll mean if he gets 1,000 yards with us, that'll mean he's gotten 1,000 yards with 6 different quarterbacks. Dude can ball, bro. So he's gotten 1,000 yards with 5 different quarterbacks so far, 4 different teams. If he gets a grand with us, his injury history isn't bad. I mean, the only injury that he really had was a concussion in the Super Bowl when he was with the Patriots. And that's pretty much why the Eagles won. If he didn't get a concussion in that Super Bowl, the Patriots probably win that game. And Brady has 7. Yeah, Cooks still has talent, still has that 4.3 speed. We haven't had, like I said, a good speed receiver since Galloway 2003. Now, I was about to hit a point until you were talking about a receiver. So, Cooks looks good to play this week. J-Ron Curse was sick. He should be good to go. Zach Martin's questionable with the ankle. Tyler Smith should be good to go with a hamstring. Donovan Hitman Wilson finally should be good to go with that calf strain. He's been hampered with that all off season. Beadash is questionable also. If Beadash don't go, then we got Brock Hoffman as center. But at least this is against Arizona. They're very scrappy. Their combined losses have been 7 points total against Washington and the Giants. But if we get up, if Zach Martin does play and Beadash does play, but they're not 100%, and we get up at halftime with a substantial lead, I would say let them sit, and get fully rested and and healed up, because after Arizona we got the 5-game stretch that's going to tell us a lot about ourselves. At home against the Patriots, they're no joke. Their first 2 games, I mean, they played Philly. They should have beat Philly. And last week was a very tight game. They're pretty good. You got the Patriots at home, then we go to San Fran, and then we go to the Chargers. Then we have the bye week, then we got the Rams at home, who seem to be better than expected. They have 12 rookies that they drafted, and they signed all 12 of the rookies, and all 12 of them are playing. And after them, we go to Philly. That's a big 5-game stretch. After that 5-game stretch, we will really know where we stand. I'm very confident. Man, Chris Goins, dude, week 5, I can't wait either. We go back to the scene of the crime. That's going to be a heavyweight boxing match right there, week 5. I'm very confident that we go 4-1, if not 5-0 in that stretch. Dano, I know you're going to have some pushback on that, but this team. Okay, I know what I was going to hit on before you threw me off with getting another receiver. 95 was the last time we reached conference championship Super Bowl, right? This season has so many parallels to the 95 season. I said if we opened up against the Giants, similar to how we did 95, which was 35-0, I said we might be on to something. We opened up at the Giants 40-0. Better than we did in 95. In 95, we signed Prime, right? I feel like we can beat San Fran. I do too. I think we are the best team in the NFC. In 95, we signed Prime, right? This year, we get Gilmore. Now he's 33. He's not in his prime. And even in Gilmore's prime, he doesn't hold a candle to Deion Sanders in his prime. But there's a parallel there. We bring in a top corner. We had an all-pro cornerback, Kevin Smith, in 95. All-pro, number 26. He went down week 1 in 95 with a torn ACL, just like Diggs. When he went down after we routed the Giants, everybody was, secondary's going to be in shambles. Prime's not ready. He wasn't ready until week 8 that year. But we had so much depth in the secondary with Larry Brown and company that we're able to play at a high level on defense. And I believe this season we had that same type of depth on defense to carry on and still be as good as we can be without Diggs. We have a 4-game stretch coming up with great wide receivers on both sides, starting with San Fran. Yeah, the Patriots, that's not one of them. They don't have good receivers. San Fran does. Chargers do. Rams and Philly. Yeah, Cooper Kupp will be back for that matchup. And Cooper and the Rams had this receiver came out of nowhere that is in top 5 right now in all categories. I can see the comparison on the defense, but not on the offense. The offense back in 95 was run first and play how call the plays according to how the game's going. Miami will be, Chris Goins, Miami's way far away. In 95, the way we called the offense was how the game was going. It was run first. Don't force anything stupid. Let our defense play defense, and our special teams play special teams. 95 offense was dominating. Yes, it was. Through 2 games, our offense has averaged 28.5 points. And our offense isn't even 100% into the new system yet. Yeah, Miami has deadly wideouts. They got speed, Waddle, and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill's on pace for over 2,000 yards. But this offense is not even 100% into the system yet. They've had 2 games in it. They didn't play in the preseason. The only reps they got were against, their own defense. So the Giants game, like I said, was like their first scrimmage in that new West Coast offense that Mike McCarthy is has, implemented. Same with last week. Every week, this offense is going to get better and better and better. Dak's going to get more comfortable in the system. He started the game against that Jets defense, who before the season people were saying was going to be the next 85 Bears defense, was going to be historically good. A lot of people were really saying the Jets defense is going to be phenomenal. Dak opened that game 13 of 13. Now, I know they're not, huge shots down the field. That's not how WCO offense works. As you know, it's, get the ball out pretty quick. But 13 of 13 to start the game, pretty impressive. Sauce Gardner should have had a pick six. Yes, that was Dak's one mistake. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. He didn't. He dropped it. And it didn't shake Dak's confidence. He, next play, kept playing. Go down the field. We score. We're at our 2.5 yard line. 2.5 yard line. 1st and 15. And we start the drive with a quick slant to CeeDee Lamb. Lamb, against that defense, gutted him. I think we're the best team in the NFC because Philly, their offense is good, yes, but their defense is not. Their secondary is horrible. Mac Jones gutted them. Kirk Cousins gutted them. I'm interested to see what Baker Mayfield does to him on Monday night. Tampa Bay is no pushover. They have a pretty legit defense, and their offense can score points. And Miami, only concerned if Tua can stay healthy. I'll worry about him with head injuries. Yeah, Tua's he's kind of like Mr. Glass. But I kept saying all offseason that Philly lost 5 defensive starters. 3 of the 5 were top-notch players, blue-chip guys. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, replaced by Reed Blankenship. That is a huge drop-off. T.J. Edwards had 160 tackles, replaced by Nakobe Dean, who they didn't trust to take the field last season. And now Nakobe Dean is hurt. Javon Hargrave, who's a freaking monster, who, of all places to go, had to go to San Fran. Replaced by Jalen Carter. Now, the kid's very good, yes, but he's a rookie. He's not as good as Hargrave this season. He's not. So those 3 right there, big drop-offs. And then Kazir White and Marcus Epps also departed. Terrell Edmonds replaced Marcus Epps, and Kazir White, forgot who replaced him. Bart Scott's argument was, well, they replaced everybody with just as good guys, if not better. No, they did not. They did not. Their right guard, Isaac Samalu, Cam Jurgens is playing that spot right now. The heir to center after Jason Kelsey retires. DeAndre Swift is good at running back, but he is injury prone. He's never eclipsed 700 yards in the season on the ground. And Philly lost Avonte Maddox. Oh, yeah. Avonte Maddox is going to miss significant time with injury. That's their slot corner right there. And their secondary already sucks. I'm sorry to use that word, but their secondary is bad. I agree on the other, but Carter is a dog. Yeah, Jalen Carter's a dog, but as a rookie right now, he is not as good as Javon Hargrave is. He's just not. He might be better, in the next few years. He might be better than Hargrave, but this season, Javon Hargrave is a better defensive tackle. Yeah, I mean, Swift runs for $170, right, against Minnesota. He can do that, but he's never eclipsed 700 rushing yards in that season because he can't stay healthy. So that remains to be seen. If he goes down, then that's their biggest running back weapon. That changes a lot of things. And the injury gods are off to a fast start. Aaron Rodgers, 4 snaps, done for the season. Nick Chubb in week 2, done for the season. Our guy Diggs, before week 3 starts, done for the season. Been a lot of big injuries early on. Hargrave not better than the run, better against the run than Carter. I don't know, Daniel. That's debatable. You got a 2 game sample size with Carter, 2 game sample size. Javon Hargrave was Philly's #1 defensive tackle last season. Fletcher Cox was a complimentary defensive tackle #2. You know, when Cox, his whole career was #1. Now this season, Fletcher Cox is back at DT1. Jalen Carter #2. Uh, like I said, Jalen Carter might become better than Hargrave, maybe in his second year. But his rookie year, I don't see him being better than Hargrave against the run or, as a pass rusher. Hargrave disrupts that middle like no other right now. I mean, that's why he was snatched up first, second of free agency and got the bag big time. I just wish that he would have been signed out of the conference by like Kansas City or something. Have him with Chris Jones next to each other. Not go to San Fran, but Hargrave great at getting sacks. His downfall, he's not against the run. Javon Hargrave's not a Vita Vea or an Ndamukong Suh against the run. He can hold his own. I can tell you that. Javon Hargrave can take on a guard in the center. He can take on a double team and free up other guys to get to the ball carrier. He could do that. That defense of Phillies is a mess. Mac Jones throws for like 350. He has no receivers. The Patriots should have won that game. They just gave it away, and they got lucky with a ball that sailed right into Slay's hands, and he took it back for 6. And then against Minnesota, it's a 1-score game. And if Justin Jefferson doesn't, at the 1-yard line, throw the ball out of the end zone when he's reaching for a touchdown, they take the lead right there. Kirk Cousins, last season, Kirk Cousins was the only top quarterback they shut down. This year, he threw for over like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Last season, the top quarterbacks that Philly faced all gutted them. Jared Goff, Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, all the top quarterbacks that defense faced last season. And that's when they had an all-star team, where they got gashed. And now they're getting gashed by average quarterbacks, average teams. So Baker Mayfield on Monday night, 2-0. They're undefeated right now, just like Philly. That's going to be a game to watch. And I'll be rooting for Tampa for sure. And they still got Vita Vea in the middle, Levante David, and that other linebacker. Decent secondary. They're playing to win this season. But this is the perfect week for Tyler Smith to come back, play his first game at left guard. He's never played a game at left guard. He's been left tackle his whole rookie season. So this is a perfect game for us to come out, everybody get in their positions, get right, and then get ready for the Patriots. Now the Patriots offense doesn't have a whole lot of weapons, so DeRon Bland shouldn't have too hard of a time. Also, he should have two good games to get his feet wet, get ready for San Fran, playing on the outside. And our pass rush is a monster. San Fran's offensive line, they have Trent Williams and one other good guy. The other 3 linemen are average to below average. Micah Parsons is a beast. Charles, our defense changed with him. Yeah, man. I mean, talks about Micah Parsons right now is not Defensive Player of the Year, but could he win MVP? Last defensive player to do that was Lawrence Taylor back in '86. That's why they have him in practice running reps at tight end to try to get him some touchdowns to help him in the MVP race. But through 2 games, has 3 sacks, forced fumble recovery, almost a touchdown. If his leg wouldn't have touched the other guy's leg, it would be a touchdown. And his double teams, if he don't beat the double team to get the sack, then the double team that he gets frees up, whoever else is rushing the passer to get a sack. Rodgers didn't do anything against Philly, as I recall. I think Philly blew out Green Bay, but their safeties and linebackers is a big issue. I don't know. I think Green Bay put up some points against the Eagles, and through the air. What was I watching yesterday that talked about top 7 quarterbacks that Philly faced? Kirk Cousins was the only one that he kind of neutralized, and the other 6, put up big time points on him. I don't remember everybody they played last season, so it's not coming to me. But I believe they mentioned Green Bay in that category. I could be wrong though. All I know is that Dak with C.D. Lamb and T.Y. Hilton put up 40, and that's when they had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps and T.J. Edwards, Javon Hargrave coming up the middle. Try and take Dak's head off. The only thing that we need to do right now, Micah Parsons, the whole NFL worries about this guy. When they play us, he's a game-wrecking machine. It's because he can line up anywhere. Like Nick Bosa, he's going to be, where he's going to line up. You can game plan for Nick Bosa. He's going to line up on the left side of the defensive line. He's left defensive end. T.J. Watt, same type deal. Aaron Donald, he moves around on the line. You can't game plan for Micah Parsons because he can line up anywhere, any given time. Line up over the center, over the guard, line up on any side. He's just very unpredictable. So if you don't know where he's going to line up, you just got to call checks at the line of scrimmage. And even double teams, if he doesn't beat them, like against the Giants, that one sack that Osa Digizua had, he was free to Daniel Jones because the tackle and guard were both so concerned with Micah Parsons, they totally forgot about Osa when he stunted on the inside. It was just a free shot to hit dimes. Okay, so it wasn't Rodgers that had a big game against them. 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Yeah, they do. If Philly's front 7 doesn't get home quick, then they have big problems. That's why I'm really interested to see what happens Monday night. Man, and San Fran, last night, the Niners, in the third quarter, it was a 5-point game against the Giants. If the Giants would have converted that 2-point conversion, it would have been a field goal game. And they were playing at home against these Giants. The Giants without Saquon Barkley, without their all-pro left tackle, forget the man's name, and without their left guard. San Fran was playing the Giants hamstrung severely, and it was a tight ball game until the fourth quarter. We blew the brakes off them, 40-0. It wasn't a tight game at any point of the game. That's why right now we look clear as the number 1 team in the conference. Parsons, best defensive player in the league, hands down. Nobody arguing that. Forgot to mention Osa Digizua has been great. Got even better. Yeah, this looks like OC's breakout season we've been waiting for him to have. We've been waiting to have a 3-tech defensive tackle that can make some noise and get pressure up the middle on a consistent basis. He has 3 sacks through 2 games also. Last season I predicted that we'd have 4 guys with 10 or more sacks. And after 8 games, it looked like we were going to have that. Dorrance Armstrong had like 7 sacks after 8 games. Micah. Tank had like 5. Fowler was like at 4. And then Philly winds up doing it. I was like, oh man, how the hell that happened? This season, I think we'll have at least three guys with 10 or more sacks. Sam Williams needs to step it up though, man. Sam Williams, who we predicted to be the breakout defensive player for this defense, hadn't done too much his first 2 games. But it's only week 3. We're going into week 3, so we will see. We're not going to take this Cardinals team lightly. I know that. And being that Diggs is down for the season, I think that gives the defense more juice to play that much harder for number 7. I think that could be the rallying cry. That fuel that makes the fire burn even more. You know what I mean? An injury can have an effect on a team like that. Like when Prescott went down last season. Everybody else stepped up the game. We go 4-1. Diggs goes down. I think this defense is going to be out for blood now. And what I want to see happen on Sunday against Arizona, we know they put up, 16 against Washington. They put up 28 against the Giants. What I want to see against Arizona, just to prove a point to the league, is a second shutout in 3 games. If we go out there and blow the doors off them and win, say, 38-0, and pitch another shutout, 2 shutouts in 3 games, then I think all this talk about, the Cowboys Super Bowl hopes are dashed with Trayvon Diggs not, being out for the season. If we can leave a goose egg on that board, even though it's Josh Dobbs, if we can leave a goose egg on that board, I think those talks cease quickly. Charles, what is your thoughts on Marquise Bell? Wanye Thomas. 2 UDFAs, Dan Quinn has been molding. Dan O. Top 3 teams, San Fran and Philly. Yeah, it's a 3-team race. The Rams look like a sleeper, though, Dan O. I didn't expect the Rams to win week 1, let alone damn near beat San Fran in week 2. And that's without Cooper Kupp. They're not in rebuilding mode. The Rams are kind of in retooling mode. Like I said, they had 12 draft picks. They signed all of their picks. The majority of that defense is rookie players. They're just overachieving right now. Chris Gons, Marquise Bell, and Wanye Thomas. We are the king of UDFAs. Our front office, names are eluding me tonight. The cat that we brought in to bring in talent that hits on every draft. What's his name? Like our real general manager. He doesn't have the title. Jerry Jones does, but what's his name? Do you know? Gosh dang it, man. What's the guy's name? In the front office that makes the draft picks and all that. Yes, Will McClay. Will McClay seems to be like the genius of finding talent that's not been drafted or is not in the NFL. Last season, we find a great return man in the USFL. This season, it looks like we found a pretty damn good kicker from the USFL. And then, Will McClay, Chris got it. And then UDFAs. How many? I mean, a team is lucky if they hit on 1. We have Terrence Steele, who just got the bag, right tackle, UDFA. We have safeties, Wanye Thomas and Marquise Bell, who played pretty damn good, UDFAs. And something I was thinking about, how they put, Izzy Akwamu in at slot cornerback sometimes, that being that we're 5 deep at safety, if you just take away Izzy, we got Donovan Wilson, Javon Curse, Hooker, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas. I think we should take Israel Mukwamu and just move him to full-time cornerback and just have him get reps at corner and see what he can become at cornerback. Because with five deep at safety, I mean, Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas can play pretty damn good, as they've shown. As, second string safeties. They can play and start if needed. So, why not take Izzy and make him a full-time corner and see what he could become at cornerback? He could be very good. He wasn't bad last season when he put him in the slot. I had Bosa better than Parsons, but now Parsons is playing clearly the best. Yeah, Micah Parsons is a gravity player. He's just generational. I remember when we drafted him in 21. I was hearing linebacker out of Penn State, Micah Parsons, and he didn't even play the COVID year. So I'm like, we're drafting this kid with a high first round pick that is a year removed from the game. He didn't even play last season. I was thinking, what are we thinking? And he turned out to be the best pick of the entire draft. I mean, Will McClay knows his shit. Chris Guns, I agree. Slide Izzy to cornerback. Yeah, why not? Put Israel Mukwamu at full-time corner. See what he can do. Because Gilmore probably has one more good season left in him. He'll be 34 next year. I think he plays one more year, and after that, he'll probably hang it up. He wants to get one more ring, and he knows his team can get it for him. He's also a great teacher to the young corners. Y'all saw Trayvon Diggs playing more physical and attacking players like he wasn't in the first 3 seasons. Gilmore is a great teacher and a great player still. Just getting older. So if Deron Bland can show up and show out at cornerback number 2, then he'll probably be the successor for Gilmore whenever he hangs it up. And then you got 2 young corners, Bland and Diggs, who could be your corners for years to come. And then Izzy could be our slot for years to come. He's still very young. Jordan Lewis is in the last year of his deal. So we're in win now mode. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Put Izzy at cornerback full time. Our safeties are all young. Donovan Wilson was drafted in 2020. Curse isn't that old at all. Malik Hooker is the oldest. He was drafted 2017, I believe. And then Bell and Thomas. Marquise Bell's in his second year. Thomas is a rookie. How many UDFAs do we have on this team? We got Hunter Lipke, who we haven't seen much of. I thought at the end of the Jets game, I figured he would get more carries because the game was over. See what the kid's got. But Hunter Lipke, Terrence Steele, Marquise Bell, Wanye Thomas, Kevontae Turpin, Brandon Aubrey, a lot. I don't like McClay's second round picks. Should have addressed the O-line. Yeah, Schoonmaker. At pick 58, when at pick 57, we saw, what was that lineman's name? Pick 57. I think pick 57, that guard from TCU went off the board, and Osiris Torrance was sitting right there. He's not a very athletic guard, but he's very strong, powerful, and we tend to like the athletic type. Or the new O-line coach does, I guess. And so at pick 58, I'm like, Osiris Torrance fell to 58. Some had him graded as the top guard in the draft. And I'm like, boom, baby, we got our next left guard. Our offensive line is rebuilt for all intents and purposes. Zach Martin being the elder at 32. He could probably play until 38 because he's not had an injury-play career. I mean, he could probably play as long as Jason Kelsey's been playing, till 38 at a high level. So I'm waiting to hear at Big 58 the Cowboys take offensive guard Osiris Torrance, and I hear Luke Schoonmaker. I was I was thinking if you don't take a tight end, even though the guy's injured and probably wouldn't be ready till mid-season, Darnell Washington, that transcendent type tight end, take him. If you're gonna take a tight end, I mean, he wouldn't be able to start for you off the get go, but he could be something super super special. I Schoonmaker wasn't. Nobody was gonna pick him in the second round. Now, some reason in the second round we make either reaches or crazy picks. Daniel's completely right. I don't know. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is the only second round pick really that's been big time. Other than that, Jalen Smith, you know, 2016 all rehab, 2017 okay, was a monster in 2018, and after that he was done. We're hoping that Sam Williams doesn't follow that same repertoire. We're hoping that he, you know, is a top defensive end for years to come, the replacement for Tank Lawrence whenever he has to hang it up. We drafted him to replace Randy Gregory. He's bigger than Gregory, faster than Gregory, and we thought smarter than Gregory, but that charge he caught before the season really threw me for a loop. Fact is, bottom line for this live show is Trayvon Diggs was not our defense. He was top 3 corner in the league, yes. Losing somebody like that hurts, yes. But championship teams are able to overcome losses like that. And we are very deep at every position except offensive line. Dalton Reisner got picked up by Minnesota just, a few days ago. He was sitting there on a silver platter. We should have just went to go get him. He provides excellent depth for the inside. I mean, he's starting caliber guard. But we seem to be content with the CM Richards, 5th round rookie, UDFA TJ Bass. That's another UDFA we have. And Chuma Edoga. Chuma Edoga's played okay at left guard first 2 games, going up against Dexter Lawrence, Leonard Williams, Quentin Williams. But I just want that one good veteran depth piece, like a Jason Peters that can play left guard or left tackle. But other than that, we are deep at every other position. We're deep at running back. We're deep at linebacker because our safeties play linebacker. So Wolf Hunter and Damone Clark is really all we need. Devin Harper is number 3 since Overshawn's down. Marquise Bell plays linebacker reps. We're deep at safety. We're deep at defensive line. We're deep at corner. We have a good return man. We have a good kicker now. Brandon Aubrey had me worried with the first missed XP, but after that he had missed since, and he looks super confident, like he's got ice water going through his veins. This defense before the season, I said I believe could be legendarily good, like 2003 L.O.B. or the 2015 No Fly Zone or the Tampa 2 Bucks in 2002. I still believe this defense can be that good. To where when they talk about some of the best defenses to ever play, they mention the 23 Cowboys defense. I still believe this defense can carry the team, can lead the team to a Super Bowl. Offense, I believe, can still be really damn good. But I believe this defense can still lead the team all the way to Vegas, where we want to be in February. Even though Diggs is not out there, we have DaRon Bland. And I think DaRon Bland this season has gotten his second opportunity. He capitalized on his first as a rookie. Now he's not a rookie anymore. He's in his second season. And Now he's got an opportunity to be cornerback number 2. He just saw Diggs get paid $97 million, 5 years, contract that's worth over $100 million. He wants that. So DeRon Bland is going to become one of the top corners in the league this season. Mark my words. That kid has got what it takes. He is something special. He's not going to be as good as Diggs this season because Trayvon really hit that plateau. But he's going to be damn good though. He's going to be he will make the Pro Bowl. He'll be a Pro Bowl player, not an alternate guy, but a Pro Bowl player this season. Obviously Gilmore and Jordan Lewis will play very solid in the slot where he's been since 2017. Our defense will not skip a beat because whenever it's time to pass the ball, quarterback has about 2.5 to 3 seconds to get rid of that football. And even on the plays where they block decently, DeRon Bland will still hold his own. And you'll see Dano whenever he goes up against Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams, Cooper Kupp, and that rookie that the Rams have, and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Gilmore's going to do his thing, so is Bland. Chris Gunn, Charles, I want to see Deuce Vaughn get more touches. When he gets the ball, you can feel the electricity. Yes, you can. I agree. I think Bland to be a Pro Bowler. Yeah, Chris Goins. DeRon Bland is going to be a Pro Bowler, and he's going to have the Cowboys after this season. He's going to have the Cowboys thinking, man, we have another guy to pay after his third year. In 2020, after 2024, DeRon Bland's gonna demand a monster deal like Diggs, because Bland's gonna be just as good as Diggs. I'm telling you, man, the kid was a 5th-round steal. Will McClay is picking these guys out of nowhere in later rounds. Hell, we might as well just trade our 2nd-round picks. Trade them, 2nd and 3rd-round picks, and just let Will McClay draft in the 1st round, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Because that's where he seems to hit constantly. And the exciting thing is, not just this season. We're not just Super Bowl ready this season, but our window is open for like the next six years. This team is built to win for the foreseeable future. It is so young. The cornerstones of this team are so young. CeeDee Lamb, Diggs, who, being that he got injured in September, by next September, should be ready to go. Micah Parsons, Dak Prescott's 31, he'll be 32. There's a reason why we traded for Trey Lance, because we want to keep that window open for as long as we can. Tyler Smith, Terrence Steele, Biadash, who's on a contract year, we might retain him after this season. The tight ends are all very young, 2nd-year guys or rookies. The safeties are young. Our linebackers are young. Our defensive line is young. This team is built to win for the foreseeable future, guys. But this season, we are ready to go to the NFC Championship game and go to Vegas. I believe we'll get the number 1 seed, and the road to Vegas will go through AT&T Stadium. And we have home field advantage now. For the longest time, we didn't. In 2009, when Jerry World opened, teams would come in, and it wouldn't feel like it was a road game. It was like a national stage where, boxing matches and all concerts, all sorts of stuff would happen there. But now we were starting to really, really play well at home. We lost against Tampa last year, week 1. That was the last time we lost at home. We reeled off 8 in a row at home since then, and then won last Sunday. So we won the last 9 in a row at home. If we can get that number 1 seed, it's going to be tough sledding for anybody to get through us in our own turf. But we'll see what happens after this week 3 scrimmage against Arizona. after we handle business, Deron Bland gets his feet wet. Tyler Smith gets his first game at left guard, gets used to it. Then this next 5 game stretch will be very interesting. 14-3 is my prediction. I'm still sticking with it. Why is Chris's messages hidden? I can see him. Y'all can't see him? He says, I agree, Charles. This year's team is not built. This year's team is not built to win for the Super Bowl for this year, but for years to come. We are the 14th youngest team in the league. Our team's only the 14th youngest team. Seems like we're younger than that. I don't know why his messages are in. It's odd. I'm doing these live shows on my Galaxy Note 22. That's why I want to get a desktop. So when I do live shows, it'll be like really, really cool. It says hidden on my end. Weird. Whenever live chat, all messages are visible. It's got to be the phone. Yeah, but I would love for Diggs not to have gotten hurt and continue on with that, but that's not going to knock us off. And I would love to pitch a shutout week 3 just to show everybody this defense can still play as good as it could week 1 and week 2. Man. Oh, I'm excited. I'm pumped, and I'm pissed at everybody thinking that Trayvon Diggs was the heartbeat of this team. He's a great piece, but he was not the heartbeat of this team. It's not like Dak Prescott went down or CeeDee Lamb went down for the season or Tony Pollard went down or Zach Martin. Those would have been really, really bad. Trayvon Diggs is really bad too, but depth. It's all about depth. When Kevin Smith went down in 1995, who stepped up? Larry Brown, James Washington, all these other second, third string guys. We had depth. We have depth this season too. Just so you know, when it says hidden, it means he could have gotten blocked or checked on your end. Check on your end. Micah Parsons is a heartbeat of this defense. Micah Parsons, y'all know Micah Parsons has a podcast after every game now. I think that's pretty cool. So like after every game, look up Dallas Cowboys Micah Parsons, and he has like a 30-minute little blog that he does. I appreciate everybody who dropped in. Please share this content, guys, if you can. I'm trying to grow this channel. After week 18 at Washington, the top 3 donators will get the following prizes. First place, you'll get playoff tickets, maximum 3 persons, 50-yard line, medium deck. Real talk. Second place, 2 jerseys of your choice. Third place, an Emmitt Smith Rookie of the Year card, possibly autographed by that time. If donations are better than expected, then prizes 2 and 3 will be bigger. It's in every chat. It's the money sign, lowercase c, lowercase m, 65466. And if you donate, let me know in the chat it was you and how much, so I can keep that in my log. And this is all to build a channel, to get equipment, to get the microphone, to get the soundbite, studio equipment, the desktop, all that stuff. Or maybe he blocked me. I don't think Chris would do that. I don't know. That's funny. I'm gonna have a call-in line too, guys. A call-in line when these live shows start getting bigger, so people can call in, and we can do our thing. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dano. Keep God first and foremost. He comes before everything, even this. Seek Him in His righteousness. Everything else in your life will fall into place. Anybody who's watching this after it's downloaded, uploaded, whatever, if you have not subscribed, Please hit the red subscribe button. This channel will become special, I guarantee you. This seems to work for Mike Fisher, so I'm going to keep doing it. On the count of 3, if you're watching this video after the fact, and you haven't subscribed to the Charles in Charge Cowboys Sports Report, let's hit that red subscribe button on the count of 3, guys. 1, 2, 3, boom. If you did it, you're a real one. I love you for it. Like Mike Fisher says, that like button helps beat the algorithms, basically gets your video viewed more. If we can hit that button at the same time on the count of 3, guys. 1, 2, 3, like it. If you did it, you're a real one. I love you for it. You have a good Friday night. I'll catch y'all Sunday after the game. We'll share our thoughts. Players to look at: Deron Bland, of course, Jordan Lewis, Tyler Smith at left guard for the first time, and let's see what Brandon Cooks and MG13 can do. All right, guys, good night. I'll catch you on the flip side. Be good. Deuce.